Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna continue from where I left off with part one with the first grade teacher that I had who pretty much broke me down. We had part one already. Part one is done. Time to move to part two. This one, I'm going to be focusing on more of what she did to get me to the point where I started hating grown-ups. Grown-ups, women, and, well, mainly black women. Well, yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. It's more than just hating black women and all that. It's way bigger than that. But let's just dive right into it. We're already a minute in. So, I believe where we left off was I told you guys about the bathroom situation. I believe it was. We talked about that. She wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. I peed on myself, and of course the kids made fun of me and all that. We also talked about the whole math situation where a student was trying to help me, and she pretty much caught them and said, "I'll grade your paper like I'm going to grade his if you keep helping him." So she threatened any child that would help me, that they were going to get punished for helping me. Something that she should have been doing, right? Moving on from there. One instance that occurred, this happened, oh God, I can't remember what time of the year this happened, but my God, it was so painful. Apparently some event was going on where there were these grown-ups, business guy people they look like businessmen and businesswomen, and they were in the cafeteria. We had a huge cafeteria. I mean a huge cafeteria with a stage on it. It was that kind of elementary school. Had the stage in the cafeteria. It was a reading activity. Somehow I got set up to be in the reading activity with some of the top tier reading students in our class. I was bad at reading. I could not read. Again, going back to that board, I could barely read all the words on the board, on the door. So, for her to put me in that group, like, what agenda do you have? Of course, at the time, I'm not thinking about an agenda because I would never assume that she would do something like that. But I got put in the situation where there's grown-ups that are, I guess, evaluating our reading skills. And I'm sitting there on the stage of the cafeteria with other students, right? And we're reading. I don't remember what we were reading. Yeah, I think it was either a story or something. Came time for me to read. Because I was bad at reading, I didn't do so well. And I needed help from the other students, like helping me sound out the words and all. So they helped me sound out the words, but again, I'm not good at reading at this point, and I really sucked at it. I really sucked at it. I was terrible. I'm looking at Miss Conaway, and she's just smiling. Irritated and yet smiling. Irritated and smiling. I could tell she was irritated because her lip did this quivering thing. Like, I can't quite do it because I'm not her age. But her lip did this quivering thing. That's how I knew she was frustrated or angry. But why she was angry is her fault, because prior to us going out to that cafeteria and reading whatever we were supposed to be reading, she said, "Do not make me look bad," to all the students. She said, "Do not make me look bad in front of these people, because these are top class people or whatever who are evaluating your reading capabilities." and any lack of reading ability that you guys exhibit is a poor reflection on me as a teacher. If that was the case, why did you get me to read? If that was the case, why did you get me to read? What were you doing when you put me in the equation? Just a curious little thought that I had for a long time. It's funny because as I'm telling you guys this, things are coming back to my mind as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. The fact I even remember this stuff but it had that much of an impact on me. So I'm messing up, going back to the reading assignment thing. I'm messing up. I lost my place a couple times. I was trying to sound out the words, and I couldn't quite get the words right. Had other kids helping me read my own daggone paragraphs. It wasn't long before she became so upset that she said,
"You're done. Go back to the class."
So I got up, went back to class. And mind you, while I'm trying to read this stuff, I'm tearing up. So I can't quite look at the words because I don't want people to see me cry. But at the same time, my eyes are getting so teary-eyed and blurred from the tears that are forming that I can't make out the words anyway. And I'm just thinking to myself, why in the world did you put me in this situation if you know I can't read? It's like you did this on purpose to make me look bad in front of these people. Honestly, it was just another example and another opportunity for her to make me look like crap and to make me feel like crap too. So I went back to the class as she told me to and sat there and tried my best to hold my tears. And I want to say something. My first grade teacher was a problem, a serious problem, but she wasn't the only problem. I was in a class full of delinquent children. Some of them were mainly very delinquent. And this is Baltimore City, okay? I lived in Hafer Street, right? I think it's okay to say that. Hafer Street was like a walk away from school. You walk there, Frederick Elementary School. You cross the street and there's the school. Down the hill there's a laundromat or whatever. While you're walking to the school, down the hill is a laundromat. We always went to that laundromat to wash clothes or whatever. You cross the street, there's the school. Terrible school system. They had no control over these children. These children were bad. They were mean. They were bullies. I got bullied just about every day. So that added to my stress. That added to my depression. That added to whatever feeling I was feeling of just, it was bad. It was disparaging, really. Like I wouldn't want my child to grow up there or to go to school there. It was terrible. We got chased home by bullies just about all the time. Got beat up all the time. It was terrible. So yeah, any show of weakness from me is an invitation to get beat up after school. So I'm trying to hold my tears in because I also know that the people around me are not friendly. The kids around me are not friendly. Go back to class. She says she commends the other kids that read well and all that great stuff. And I'm sitting there looking like a fool because I couldn't read. I want to say this. Sidetrack. It is the duty of a teacher to ensure that their students know how to read. I'm sure a lot of these other kids read and were bookworms and all that during the summertime. Fine. It was mainly the white kids. Black kids, we didn't do that. Not that we're dumber, just that we wanted summer to feel like summer. Not like summer school, but summer. So no, we're not gonna study and read and do all this stuff to prepare for first grade. Because it's first grade, first of all. Shouldn't be that hard. I learned how to read later on when I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I don't want to spoil anything. My point is, it is the priority of a teacher to ensure that all of her students know how to read. All of his or her students know how to read. Competent enough to read, and competent enough in reading that they are able to excel to the next level of reading. Now, that said, she did none of that. It was all on me. It was my fault. It was my parents' fault. And it was just a sad thing. It was really sad. And the homework assignments that she would give, because I didn't understand them and was afraid to even ask her for clarity, for understanding, I barely did my homework. Or I did it at home but didn't turn it in because I wasn't finished. Which led to all sorts of problems down the road, and it wasn't helpful to me at all. None of that was. So, moving past that, one of the biggest, worst examples that I can give is the dunce cap situation. Yes, there's a dunce cap involved in this story. And yes, I wore it. So, okay, this is a bit of an emotional part of the story, so I'm going to try my best to say this and get this out without getting upset. During the class, class, school, or whatever, my teacher decides to be nice to me. She told me to come up to the front of the class, right? I didn't do anything. I just came to school. Right? She calls me up. She pulls up a chair in front of the class, tells me to sit down. I sit down. She goes into her cabinet, which is up here. So I'm sitting in front of the class like I'm sitting in front of you. To the right of me, but your left, there's the cabinet. She reaches up into the cabinet to grab what looks like an oversized birthday hat, right? Puts it on my head and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is our dunce for the day." And all the kids bust out laughing and start clapping. I'm thinking, because I don't know what dunce means, and I don't know what that oversized birthday hat was, but I figured that this was her being nice to me. Again, I'm ignorant. I don't know what dunce means, or what a dunce cap is. And I'm like, wow, they're actually cheering for me, so I'm smiling. That's what kills me. I'm smiling with them, but I'm smiling and not smiling because I'm kind of confused about what's going on, because this is not normal behavior in my mind. It's not normal behavior for her to actually praise me for merely existing. But little did I know that it wasn't praise. It was persecution. I went home after school and asked my brother, my older brother. It was just me and him who were in school at the time. And that's how long ago this is. My sister wasn't in school yet, and my brother was still a baby. My younger brother was still a baby. I asked my older brother, I said, "Kyle, what does dunce mean?" And my brother's like, "What, you really don't know what a dunce is?" I said, "No." He said, "It means you're stupid." He said, well, it means a little worse than that, but it's pretty much saying that you're stupid and you're mentally challenged. Like you're really dumb. That's what it means. And the memories came back from that day of how everybody were cheering and laughing, and even some of the kids that wanted to help were laughing. And that's what they were laughing about. So after my brother told me that, I went into the room, closed the door, locked it, and cried until I went to sleep, because what else am I supposed to do?